should you warm up? Uh, Gosh, I feel like this is one of those things where people say shit just to be like contrarian. We all know you should warm up. Everybody warms up. Look at every Olympic athlete, they all warm up. Look at every professional athlete, they all warm up. You've been doing a warm up forever. And suddenly we have people on social media saying you don't need to warm up and your warm up shouldn't take 20 minutes and blah, 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 blah. You shouldn't spend half an hour warming up. For who? Who are you talking to? Hypothetically, let's pretend that you can, back squat 400 pounds, okay? And so how are you gonna get to that 400 pounds, right? You don't just walk in and put 400 pounds on a bar. That would be stupid. Who does that? I'm sure someone has done that. I'm sure that's dumb. I don't think that that's a good way for you to train. I don't even think it's advisable. So let's just stop and think about this for a minute here. We're going to pretend that you didn't even do any other warm-up at all. Let's say we're just going to go straight to squatting, right? Which I don't think is a great idea either. But even if you just went straight to squatting, you're going to squat 405 today. You're going to take the bar. Why wouldn't you take the bar? Everyone takes the bar. Olympic athletes, Olympic weightlifters, people who put 400 pounds overhead start off with just the bar. So you're going to start off with just the bar. You're going to do, say 10 reps with just the bar. All right, that felt good. You throw 95 on, you do 5 reps. You throw 135 on and you do 3 reps. And then you put 185 on and you do 2 reps. And then you go to 225 and do a single. You go to 275 and do a single. You do 315 and do a single. Maybe you do 365 for a single. Then you do, I don't know, something approaching this, right? So you got to pick something between 365 and 405. So let's just say you do 385 for a single. And then you do your 405 for a single. How long do you think it's going to take you? Just go ahead and think about that for a bit. You're taking these jumps, right? But you got to figure you're probably going to load the bar, which is going to be a bit of a, it's kind of a rest. I mean, we're not like taxing our legs to put a couple 25s on, a couple 45s on. And you're probably going to pace around a little bit and kind of feel it a little. Like, who the hell wants to squat, 225 and then immediately go into 275 without, kind of just, I don't know, shaking things out, right? You're kind of like, yeah, all right. You squat 275, you put 315 on. You're going to spend a little more time than just swapping plates. At least I would. So right there, for you to get to your 405, probably took you 15, 20 minutes. Oh, shit, that's a warm-up. Yeah, Dan John has this line about, I can't remember if it's the workout is the warm-up or the warm-up is the workout. Kind of means the same thing, though, if you think about it, right? So, the workout is for you to squat, so what do you do as the warm-up? Oh, you squat. If the warm-up squats, then the workout squats. Oh, shit. But, I'm going to throw this out there and say maybe you shouldn't just go straight into the bar either. As I discussed in a different video, the older I get, if my goal is to do power cleans for today, I'm probably going to do some hamstring work, maybe do some dumbbell deadlifts, get my back kind of loosened up. Then I'm probably going to squat because it feels good. It makes my knees feel good. And then I'm going to do power cleans after that because, well, I don't bounce the way I used to. I'm not as explosive and elastic as I used to be. So it helps me to squat first and then do something explosive after. It just helps me loosen up. I want people to understand that I don't think you need to spend 30 minutes, doing the Airdyne. That's not your warm-up. I don't think you need to spend another 30 minutes doing static stretching. Don't turn this into a straw man and try to take something I didn't say and make some weird, stupid counter-argument. But if you were to think about this, the first thing you want to do is get your body temperature up, right? That's the whole point of warm up. What? Oh, wait a minute. Warm up means literally getting warm? Yes, it does. So, you probably want to move around, get the blood flowing. You probably don't want to do something particularly taxing because then that would accumulate fatigue, and now it's going to impact your workout. So, maybe let's just take that old school CrossFit workout thing, right? The people would do pull-ups, push-ups, and squats, 3 rounds of 5, 10, and 15 as their warm-up. There's nothing wrong with that. Run 400 meters, and then you do 3 rounds of 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, 15 air squats. You know what? You can make fun of CrossFit all you want. That's not a bad warm up. Like you're getting some pull ups in, you're getting some push ups in, and so you got a push and a pull there, and then you're squatting. You might want to add a hinge movement. If it were me, I'd probably do something like Dimmel deadlifts is what I would choose. But maybe you like to swing a kettlebell, so you can swing a kettlebell, right? So right there, you've got a pushing movement, a pulling movement, a squatting movement, and a hinging movement. Oh, that's a pretty good damn warm up there, isn't it? What's wrong with that? I point out to people all the time, my favorite warm up, yes, I have a favorite, is I like to either do a hang power snatch or a hang muscle snatch, followed by overhead squats. You can use an empty bar. Like, it doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm throwing 40 kilos on and doing this shit. No, like, just grab an empty bar, do some muscle snatches, and do some overhead squats. Go through that like 3 or 4 times. I do 3 and 6. So, 3 muscle snatches or 3 power snatches, and then, 6 overhead squats. I set it down, shake things out, do it again. Set it down, shake things out, do it again. Okay, well, if you're wrecked from that, then I don't know, you need to work on your GPP or something, but you should be able to squat an empty bar, and, muscle snatch an empty bar, for 3 sets of, 3 and 6, just to get yourself moving. I find the overhead squat is a great warm-up movement. It kind of opens up your shoulders, it gets your legs moving. It's a fantastic way for you to warm up. Gabriel Sinkranian, I think, talks about doing no contact muscle snatches and overhead squats as his warm-up. That's a great fucking warm-up. So, these people make these posts, oh, you don't need to spend 30 minutes warming up. That's nice. You're 18 or you're 20. You're still in your 20s, okay? And I'll tell you what, when I was in my 20s, I didn't warm up either. Didn't need to. I could have just showed up minutes before the game, threw my gear on, and went out. Now, come on. Like, once you're past the age of 35, you should warm up. You should definitely warm up. That's just asking for trouble. And so, like, who are you talking to when you say you don't need to warm up? And sure, I agree, it doesn't need to be 30 minutes long of you on the Airdyne, but certainly you could spend 20 minutes just warming up to your squat for the day, unless you're really weak, which I guess in that case, you don't need to warm up as long. I mean, if your max squat is 65 pounds, then, I guess you do some air squats, you do the bar, and then you put 65 on. Sure. If you're squatting over 400, it might take you a little longer to warm up to that. Could you do it cold? Sure. Is it worth the risk? I don't think so. No one likes to tear muscles. Muscle strains suck. So, this is contextual is what I'm trying to share here. And so my take on this, my advice to you, okay, is warm up as much as you need to, and don't let someone else tell you that you're doing too much. All right, there are days where I'm warmed up in 10 minutes, and there are days where I feel like shit, and it takes me 30 minutes to warm up. I don't feel the same every day. I don't sleep the same every day. It doesn't matter if I spend 10 hours in bed. I spend 10 hours in bed every day. Sometimes I don't sleep well. It's not because I'm not in bed for 10 hours. I go to bed early, and I make sure I'm in bed for 10 hours. Sometimes I wake up halfway through the night and have a hard time falling back asleep. That's not going to be the same as a night where I sleep 10 hours all the way through. Some days, it's raining outside and my knees hurt more. I can tell the weather with my knees. This is just the way it is. Sometimes you just don't feel good and it takes you longer to warm up. So on the days where you need it, go ahead and warm up for 30 minutes. Like, don't let people tell you stupid things like you shouldn't warm up. That's dumb. Everybody knows you should warm up. Every single athlete out there warms up. And, I think this is obvious. Warm-ups are a smart thing for you to do. And if nothing else, it's kind of like a body check. You're just making sure nothing's injured, nothing hurts. If I started warming up and I was like, God, my knees, they're just not going to do it today. I'm not going to squat. I'm going to pick a different workout. Maybe we're going to do, deadlifts or bench press or shoulder press or something instead. You don't have to stick to the plan every single time. It's like, wow, I'm supposed to squat today, but my hip is absolutely killing me. Okay, do leg extensions and hamstring curls. You're still training your legs. Nothing We don't live in a bubble. You don't live in some perfect world where you're exactly the same every day. So my advice to you is to ignore people that tell you not to warm up. Do whatever you feel you need to do. Warm up until you feel good. I don't care if it's 10 minutes. I don't care if it's 30 minutes. I don't care if it's an hour. I'm serious. I would rather have someone warm up for an hour and feel good and then do 3 really hard sets of squats and be done because they're out of time than to have someone try to like force it in and be like, well, I gotta get 10 sets today, and then, I don't know, like tear their quad or something. That's not, getting injured sucks, and then you lose all this time. You'd be better off cutting your workout short. So if you're planning on doing 10 hard sets, you do 3 hard sets and call it a day. That's much better for you than getting injured. So anyways, there's my 2 cents on this. Do you need to warm up? Yes. Does it have to be some prescription? No. Figure out whatever you need to do and do as much of it as you need, and don't let other people tell you not to.